No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Instead, you should work up until the day you die, because everyone that we know that when they do retire, they're dead within 5 years. So why retire? I guess you should go ahead and work all the way up until you die. At least that's what it sounds like from some famous people in this last couple weeks. So that is what I want to address today. Hey everybody, it's David from David in Progress, where we talk about financial independence and retiring early from the perspective of someone who is actually doing it. And apparently, I am stupid. If you are not familiar with Ben Shapiro, he is a very conservative commentator and he's on the internet. I've watched him a time or two. I agree with some things he says, and I disagree with some things that he says. Well, I certainly disagree with a rant that he had this week about retirement age. The core of it really was about Social Security. That's fine. But he says here, and I'm going to read his quote, "No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Everyone I know who is elderly, who has retired, is dead within 5 years." Well, Ben, you must know some very unhealthy people, people who retire and then die. That is exactly what we're trying to avoid with early retirement, so that we can retire, we can stop that full-time work for someone else life, don't die in that beige cubicle, go out and do things and live your dreams while you are still healthy. I looked it up, and the average life expectancy in the United States, believe it or not, is falling. I think it was 77 on the one article that I found. So let's say you don't retire at 65, you wait until you're 70. Well, gosh, then you've got 7 great years you can go out and kind of enjoy things. What if you are unhealthy at that point? You can't do the hiking, you can't do the long walks, you can't do the runs, all the other things. Well, according to Ben and perhaps some other people, that's okay. Well, that is not what people in the early retirement community want to do. They want to go out and do things and explore and live that life that they could not live while locked into that cubicle or whatever it was you were doing working for someone else. I do not plan and am not going to die in some cubicle. I am not going to work all the way up until 65, 67, 72, walk out of that office and be dead within 5 years. I don't think you want to be that way either. So I would say, yeah, maybe it is stupid to retire at 65. Maybe it's smart to retire at 56 instead. It blows my mind to have these people ranting about how retirement is a bad thing. I want to be very clear. I know many people that are working into their 60s and their 70s, and they love it. They love what they're doing. They are making a difference for the world with their job. They tend to be entrepreneurs, business owners, people in public service, that kind of thing. I have nothing at all against people that are doing that. More power to them. But that is the minority of people. Most of us are doing the daily grind. We're working for somebody else. And we long for that time where we can work for ourselves and have the most precious of all resources, which is time, and have that time under our full personal control. Now, if you watch Shapiro's rant outside of the quote that I just gave, it's more about taking Social Security. And I don't want to get into politics or anything like that. I understand that Social Security is a system that is going to have some issues and has issues. Heck, if you're in your 20s, forget it. I don't think you should count at all that you're going to get Social Security. For someone like me in my 50s, or if you're in your 40s, hey, maybe you should go out there and account for a life of retirement without that benefit. And that is why I think it's most important, besides seeking early retirement or retirement, is to seek the FI part of FIRE first, financial independence. The key thing is to building up your savings in such a way and your investments that you don't worry about Social Security, you don't worry about the government and those type of systems, because you have funded yourself. And it gives you the most important thing, the freedom of choice. When I was laid off last year, thanks to having saved for many years and doing it in a very simple way, I had the choice to go right back to work, or to try out this early retirement thing that we're doing right now. Wouldn't it be terrible to work all those years and step out of your job after all that work and not be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, of your investments in the things that you did? There was another person in the last week, Jeff Fink, I think his name is, and he is 71 years old and the CEO of BlackRock, which I think is a big investment company. And here's what he said: "But I do think it's a bit crazy that our anchor idea for the right retirement age, 65 years old, originates from the time of the Ottoman Empire." I think it's important that let's just forget ages. The appropriate age to retire is when you think it is appropriate. You have worked hard, you have saved and invested, you've got that Roth loaded up, you've got your 401k loaded up, you've got your taxable account loaded up, and then you have dreams of things to do. That age, it could be 56. It could be 36. That's real out there, but it does happen. It could be 76. The key is that the age is your choice. Don't let these pundits go out there and tell you what is the right age to retire or not retire. Don't even listen to me on an age. Listen to yourself. Set that date and plan for it. I apologize for this rant, a little bit different for me, but I think everyone is unique. Your journey is unique. Your date is unique. Turn off the news. Don't listen to these people. Just make sure that you save up and have the choice to do what you want, whether that is to retire early or retire on time. And focus on the financial independence part so that you have choices. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, leave some comments. This is a big one. What do you think is the appropriate age to retire? Are you relying on Social Security to do that? If not, what is your strategy? Do you think 65 is right? Do you think 70 is right? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you now that I have finished my rant. Thanks for watching.